Have you ever looked around and wondered why some people who make a ton of money are still, well, completely broke? Today, we're diving into the 5 big financial mistakes to keep people from building real, lasting wealth. And here's a hint, it's not just about what you earn. It's all about your mindset. Let's get right into it.
You know, this isn't some made-up quote. It's real. A few weeks back, a post from a professional in Gorgon just blew up online. They claimed they needed 7.5 lakhs a month just to get by. Why? Well, get this. A 2 lakh EMI on a 3 crore house, another 60 grand for a car payment because, small car just wouldn't look right, and then another lakh on lifestyle stuff. And the real kicker? They had 0 savings and no insurance.
So that really brings us to the big question here, doesn't it? How on earth can someone with that kind of income be in such a fragile financial spot? And more importantly for us, what are the hidden mistakes that are trapping people, even the high earners, and keeping them from ever actually becoming wealthy?
All right, the very first mistake is, it's a little weird, honestly, because it goes against pretty much the most common financial advice you've probably ever heard. We're all told, start investing early, even if it's a small amount. But what if that's actually not the smartest thing to do with your money when you're just starting your career?
Yeah, Einstein himself said it, and he was not wrong. Compounding is absolute magic. We've all had that mantra drilled into our heads. Start early, start small, and just let time do its thing to grow your wealth. But there's a pretty big catch.
Let's really think about this for a second. If you're starting out on, say, a pretty modest salary, is putting a couple thousand rupees aside every month into the market truly the best way to get rich? Or are you maybe paying a huge opportunity cost without even realizing it?
Okay, this slide is a major reality check. Let's imagine 5 years ago, you started a small SIP for 2,000 rupees a month. And let's be generous and say you got a 15% annual return. Today, you'd have about 1.5 lakh rupees. I mean, it's something, but it's not exactly life-changing, is it?
Now, what if you did something different? What if, instead of that SIP, you spent those 5 years investing that same money and time in yourself? Learning new skills, building a network, just focused on boosting your earning power. If you got your salary up to just 1.5 lakhs a month, you could save that entire amount in just 4 months. You'd literally make back 5 years of investing in a tiny fraction of the time.
So here's the bottom line. In the early days of your career, the absolute best returns don't come from the stock market. They come from you. Your ability to get a 50 or 70% salary hike in a year is going to blow away the 12 or 15% you might get from stocks. Your number one goal should be to just crank up your income.
Okay, on to our second big mindset shift. Once you've started to really increase what you can earn, the next step is to stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an owner. See, real wealth, it isn't built from a salary, it's built from equity.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. As an employee, you're basically trading your time for money. If you don't show up to work, you don't get paid. Your income is always capped by the hours in a day. But a business isn't limited by one person's time. It uses systems and people and capital to make money that has nothing to do with how many hours the owner is working.
And this is the magic of what we call scalability. Just think about this incredible example from Zomato. They get something like 1.3 million orders every single day. Now what happens if they decide to add a tiny 1 rupee fee to every single order? Boom! They instantly start making an extra 13 lakh rupees a day without hiring anyone new or really adding any costs. That's the power of an owned, scalable system.
Now hold on, this doesn't mean you have to quit your job and go start the next Zomato. The key concept here is ownership. When you buy a share of a company on the stock market, you are literally buying a tiny piece of that business. You become a part owner, and you get to benefit from its growth and its scalability.
So it doesn't matter if it's your own business or owning a piece of someone else's through stocks. The engine that truly generates wealth is equity. A salary can give you a really good life, for sure, but it's ownership that gives you a real path to financial freedom.
So far, we've been talking all about offense, how to grow your money. But that's only half the game. It is just as important to play defense, to protect everything you've built from getting completely wiped out by one single disaster.
Let me tell you a true story that really just hits hard. I met a taxi driver who told me that before the pandemic, he was doing okay. He had a decent job, he even owned his own home. But then a major medical crisis hit his family, and it ended up costing him over 55 lakh rupees. He had to sell his house, take on huge amounts of debt, and now he drives a taxi just to cover the rent and the EMIs.
One single emergency erased a lifetime of hard work. So you absolutely must build a financial defense system before you start playing offense. This slide shows you the 3 pillars, and they are completely non-negotiable. You need an emergency fund to cover your expenses, you need good health insurance for every single person in your family, and if anyone depends on your income, you need term life insurance. Period.
And here's a critical rule about that emergency fund. It is not an investment. Its only job is to be safe and to be there when you need it, not to grow. Do not risk it in the stock market where it could crash right at the moment you need it the most. Keep it somewhere super safe and easy to access, like a savings account or a liquid mutual fund.
All right, we've covered earning and protecting. Let's get to the final piece of this puzzle, and maybe the sneakiest mistake of them all, falling into the consumerism trap. It's usually fueled by debt that's cleverly designed to look like it's no big deal.
This slide shows one of the most common ways people get tricked by loans. So most of us know about reducing balance loans, like for a home loan, right? But a lot of consumer loans for things like phones or appliances use a flat rate. A 10% flat rate sounds pretty good, but since the interest is calculated on the entire original amount for the whole loan period, it's actually like paying 17 or 18%. It's almost double what it looks like.
And these traps, they're everywhere now. Buy now, pay later schemes, they just create this false sense of affordability. You wanted to buy one thing for 10,000 rupees, but hey, since you can pay in easy installments, you end up buying 3 things you couldn't really afford in the first place. And those instant loan apps and credit cards, if you're not disciplined, they just become tools for buying stuff you don't need with money you don't have.
And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? So much of this kind of spending is just driven by this pressure to keep up, to look a certain way. But if you fall into a debt trap trying to impress society, is that same society going to be there to bail you out? We all know the answer. No, you'll be on your own.
So let's pull this all together into a new, simple framework. Step 1, focus everything on maximizing your income by investing in yourself. Step 2, build your wealth through ownership, not just a salary. Step 3, build a rock-solid financial defense system. And finally, Step 4, spend consciously. Be aware of and steer clear of all the debt traps that are designed to keep you poor. So is all debt bad? Not necessarily. The only time debt can be a tool instead of a trap is when you use it to buy an asset that's either going to grow in value or generate more income. Think an education loan to boost your skills, or a business loan to get that scalability we were talking about. That's using leverage the smart way.
And that's really what I want to leave you with. I want you to take a hard look at your own financial life and just ask yourself this one powerful question. Are your financial choices, your income, your spending, are they actually buying you more freedom and more options in life? Or are they just building you a more comfortable, more expensive cage? The answer to that question will decide your entire financial future.